everybody. So this is a quick video or quick-ish video about effective interest rates, and this is really intended for like Mobius help because this is written using the book that we have, and so it is different than how you see effective interest rates in other places. So here I have given I to the fourth equals 6.5%. Find the equivalent rate of I to the 12th. So here let's start with what does this mean? So the interpretation of I to the fourth is 6.5% means that my rate is 6.5%, and it is compounded quarterly 4 times a year. So we want 1 plus 0.065 over 4 to the fourth. Now we want to know what's equivalent with I-12. So that says, well, what interest rate would have the same rate? So that's 1 plus I don't know. Compounding is 12 and it's to the 12th. So I am solving for this I right here. This left part, this 1 plus 0.065 over 4 to the fourth is a number. So I am going to put that in my calculator. 1 plus 0.065 divided by 4 to the fourth power. And I'm just going to show you, it's really long, 1.066601609, and I want to keep all of it, and I will go over to the calculator later to show you this also. Then this is equal to 1 plus I over 12 to the 12th. So there's this problem of how am I going to get rid of this 12 up here? There are 2 ways to do it. It's kind of like if you have x squared equals, let's say, 289, and you wanted to figure out what x was, you would take the square root, you would take the square root. The idea is this root is 2. So if you have something that's the 12th power, you need to take the 12th root. So I'm going to take the 12th root of 1.066601609. That's going to be 1 plus I over 12. If you're having problems like you're like, how do I do that in the calculator? Calculators often have something that says like the nth root of x. So you would have to put 12, you would hit this nth root of x, right? And then you would plug in this big number. And again, I will go over and show you. An alternative is the 12th root is equal to the power 1 over 12. So there are 2 options there. So you can do the root with the 12 inside, that's called the index, or you can do the fractional exponent of 1 over 12. That will also work. So those are both good things. It's going to give a number. It's going to be even uglier than what we have right now. So I just want to think strategy-wise, what else do I want to do? Well, I would like to subtract 1. So I'm going to have this 12th root of 1.0. That's a 666011609. I'm going to do minus 1. That's going to be I over 12. So I need to get rid of the 12. So I'm going to multiply, put parentheses, multiply. So this is what we have at the end. So I'm going to put it real quick in my calculator before we go over. So I can show you also using, I'm just going to use Desmos. So let's do minus 1 and then times 12. I got 0.06465. So I put a lot of decimal places just because you want to see that difference. And then if you're gonna put it in actually as a percent, even though it doesn't tell you to do that in the homework, it is a percent. So this is 6.465%. So I move the decimal place over and here's what I get. So let's do the same thing. Let me step you through in the calculator with what that looks like. And I will probably show you like a bunch of steps on that. So I put a little note up here so we can just see like what are we trying to do. We're trying to do the 1 plus 0.065 over 4 to the fourth. This is 1 plus I over 12 to the 12. So in the calculator, watch how I can do the 1 plus 0.065 divided by 4, and I just want you to see here's this number to the fourth like I had earlier. Then I want to do the 12th root. So I'm going to pop up the keyboard so you can see it. And at first you probably don't see anything on there that's useful, so you go over to the functions and then you start looking through, and this is, assumption that you're using Desmos like I am. So I just kind of go through and look for something that looks like that and see how it's kind of down here at the number theory. So there's this nth root. So I'm going to hit that. Let me go to a next thing so I can hit that for you. So back to the bottom, here's this nth root. And what it does when it goes to the nth root, it waits for you to tell it what the root is. So there's 12. And then I'm just going to type that in again like I had earlier. So here's my parentheses. Get my mouse out of the way. 1 plus 0.065 divided by 4 to the 4th. So this is what I have when I take the 12th root. Now, you remember all that did was take that 12th root away. Then we had to subtract 1. And then we had to multiply by 12. So I'm just going to add some parentheses here. And I do like Desmos for this, that I can go in and kind of edit as I'm going. Then I'm going to come to the back and I'm going to say then I need to multiply by 12. So times 12. And here's that number I gave you, the 6.465, right? So you can check it. Let me show you an alternative. So it could be that we had this 1 plus 0.065 divided by 4. And then we raise that to the 4th. And remember I said we could use to the power 1/12. So I'm going to go back and put parentheses here. So parenthesis at the front, parenthesis at the end, and I'm going to go exponent, parenthesis, 1 divided by 12. Okay. So that's that same as if I took the 12th root, I can do the 1/12 power, it's equal. Then remember we said minus 1, then times 12. So let me go back to the beginning and say I could put a 12 in front actually. And you can see that same number again. So you have a few options. It's not that you have to do it the same way. I know it's a lot. Like I know this is a lot of little steps, which is why this is one little video that you can go back to, because I think this one is probably the trickiest one in the homework, right? Like for sure. So give yourself some time to do this one because it'll be a lot and then you're hitting it to make sure. So watch for how many decimal places. I would encourage, as you round it over, give 3. So once you make it a percent, give 3 extra decimal places. Don't put a percent in. It doesn't tell you to do that. So don't write as a decimal, write as a percent, 3 decimal places after the period. Good luck.